Good day to you. It's Marty Westley, and I'm very glad to have you on this journey that we are taking to search for the truth. So I hope that you will be blessed with me. We're going to begin new lectures today. It's still the beginning, but it's the creation of man. And all the scriptures used are from the Hebrew Bible, the Old King James, Dake's Annotated Reference Bible, eSword, any italics, underlining, brackets and words made bold have been added, including all the English and Greek and Afrikaans names for God, the Lord, Jesus and Christ changed into the original Hebrew. And so we begin today at Genesis 1:26-28. And Yahveh and Elohim said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. The blueprint of their creation was so real to Yahweh that it was already a done deal, because Adam was only created in Genesis 2:7. So verse 28 says, "And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply and replenish, fill the earth again, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." So let's go to Genesis 2, verse 7-10, and verse 15-25. "And Yahweh Elohim formed Vayetzer, squeezing into shape, fashion, man with the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Neshama Chayim." Now here we see a plural word. It's not Chaya, it is Chayim. There's two yods here. And so it means the breath of lives. Neshama Chayim. Man was created to live in this life and in the life to come. And here we see Vayetzer, two yods. But in all the other places where Vayetzer is written, it's only written with one yod. So what does it say? Man was made for this world and for the next world to come. So let's look at life-giving breath. And it became blood. This breath that was breathed into Adam became blood, and blood started flowing through Adam's veins. His heart started pumping, his eyes started seeing, his ears started hearing, and his brain started forming ideas, and started the body functioning, etc. And the man became a living soul. Adam means earthy. Adamah means ground, soil, and damah means to resemble. And Yahweh Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made Yahweh Elohim to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life. And here we have the same thing. This this tree of life is Hayim. It's got 2 yods. So it means the tree of lives. So the tree of lives was also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And Yahweh Elohim took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And Yahweh Elohim commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayst freely eat, but the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. And Yahweh Elohim said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground Yahweh Elohim formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle and to the fowl of the air and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. And Yahweh Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which Yahweh Elohim had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. When Adam and Eve, her name is Chava, because it means mother of all living, were created, we see that both Yahweh's name and the name Elohim were used in their creating. Yahweh Elohim. Yahweh told Adam and Chava to replenish the earth. Now Hillel, or shall we say Satan, was already a fallen creature when he came into Adam's Eden to tempt Eve. Genesis 3:1-7 says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath Elohim said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God Elohim hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for Elohim doth know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and ill. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together, made themselves aprons. Disobedience to Elohim was the proof to Yahweh that Adam had made a choice between himself and Hillel, and they died spiritually. Their spirit became dormant. Remember, they were created sinless. All their generations after them will be born in sin, with Hillel's nature within them. Yahweh knew from beginning what would happen, and so his great plan of redemption was conceived in his mind even before the creation of the world. I believe that Yahweh decided to make Hillel a part of his redemptive plan. To give to mankind 6 millenniums to choose whom they will serve. Yahveh the Good Father, or Hillel, who is called Abaddon, the father of all evil. Genesis 3:12-15 says, And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So here we see is the promise of redemption for mankind. Since all babies are produced naturally by the seed of man, the woman's seed must be supernatural. A woman has ovum, not seed. A prophetic sign given by Yahweh of the virgin birth of Yeshua in Isaiah 7:14. Therefore Yahweh himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel, Elohim, with us. His seed here in this verse represents a male child that will be produced by sperm entering into the ovum in the womb of a virgin woman. His blood will be unique, not sin-tainted. Only the blood of the father is present in a child, not his mother's. This seed of the woman will be both supernatural and human. It does not say anything about the woman who would bring Satan's seed into the world, but we will establish his identity in the coming lectures. Thorns also. This is Genesis 3:18-23. It says, Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee. He's speaking to Adam. And thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve in our Bibles, as Chava in the Hebrew Bible, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahweh Elohim make coats of skin and clothed them. And here you can see that something had to die for them to be clothed. And Yahweh Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life and eat, and live forever. Can you see that Elohim said here, become as one of us? This is why the Elohim is a plural word in unity. And that is why one, Echad, is a plural word in unity. Therefore the Yahweh Elohim sent forth from the Garden of Eden, sent them forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So Adam, when you remove the Aleph representing Yahweh, what remains? It means dam, and it means blood, only substance. You see, It's amazing how the Bible in the Hebrew, how this stresses on the different letters of the alphabet. Then Adam and Yahveh had 2 sons, Cain and Abel. Cain was a farmer and Abel was a shepherd of sheep. And both of them brought offerings to Yahveh. Cain's offering was from his field, and Abel's offering was a young spotless lamb. And Abel's offering was accepted by Yahveh. And Cain became so jealous that eventually he killed Abel, his brother. And evil became part of everyday living. Genesis 5 from 1 to 5 and 21 to 24 says, "This is the book of generations of Adam. In the day that Elohim created man, in the likeness of Elohim made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Enoch, or Enoch, lived 65 years and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with Elohim. After he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, walked with Elohim. He was not, for Elohim took him." Let's look at Hebrews 11:5 and see what more is said about Enoch. "By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because Elohim had translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony, that he pleased Elohim." Enoch knew Yahveh. He was a man of integrity and was translated into heaven, and that is why we will use his writings to shed more light on the following scriptures. Translated in Hebrew is Avar, to cross over, transition, to go beyond. Avar is the root word for Hebrews, Ivri, because this is what Israel became. They became Hebrews. Genesis 6:1-4 says, "And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And Yahveh said, My flesh shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of Elohim, some angels, came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown, because at that time they were seen as gods. Now strive is din, and it means judgment. Enoch 6:1-7, let's go there and see what he says. It happened after the sons of men had multiplied in those days, that daughters were born to them, elegant and beautiful. And when the angels, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, Come, let us select ourselves wives from the progeny of men, and let us beget children. So they made an oath together, There were 200 who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Almon, which is Hermon. And they went into them, and they defiled themselves with them, and taught them enchantments, and the cutting of roots, and revealed eternal secrets, which were preserved in heaven, and they became corrupt. They also showed them astrology, the knowledge of clouds, and the stars, and the constellations, and the signs of the earth, of the sun, and of the moon. And these women became pregnant, and they bare great giants, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured them. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh, and to drink their blood. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. Then Yahveh sent Uriel to Noah. These watchers have wronged mankind. A deluge was to come on earth to destroy all, except righteous Noah and his own. This sin wronged mankind. Do you know that this sin is called Hamas? Now, where have we heard Hamas? It means violated, maltreat, violent, ravish them, make bare, naked. Was this the dinosaurs? Was the dinosaurs the result of this cohabitation? I believe so. Now, coming back to Hamas, we have a Hamas, a terrorist group today in the Middle East, in Lebanon. So it means, could it mean that there was a connection? Well, we don't know. Genesis 6:5-14 says again, and Elohim saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented Yahveh that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Yahveh said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahveh. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man, and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with Elohim. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth was also corrupt before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. And Elohim looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And Elohim said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this pitch is Kaphar, and it means atonement. So here again, God was making atonement so that people can go free. The ark was 3 stories high. After the ark was built, the unclean animals, 2 by 2, the male and his female, started to walk toward the ark. And the clean animals came by 7s, the male and his female, and the fowls of the air, etc. Noah did whatever Yahweh commanded him, And Noah was 300 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah, his wife, and his sons, and their wives, altogether 8 of them, went inside, and all the animals, etc. And Yahweh closed the door of the ark. And do you think for 1 minute that there were dinosaurs? No. The dinosaurs was allowed to be killed. The rain fell upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. All living substance was destroyed from the face of the earth, and the waters prevailed upon the earth for 150 days, until the 17th of Tishri, September-October, when the ark landed on the mountains of Ararat. They left the ark in the 2nd month, and Yahweh blessed them. And Noah built an altar unto Yahweh, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And Yahweh blessed them, and told them to multiply, to bring forth abundantly, and he established his covenant with them. And he will not let the world experience a flood again. The sign he gave was a rainbow in the sky. Let's return to the writings of Enoch. Enoch 15, 8-12 says, And now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men and from the holy watchers. They shall be evil spirits who were born upon the earth. On the earth shall be their dwelling. And they will afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless they hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. These shall rise up against men and women, because they have proceeded from them. The angel of Yahweh went into the daughters of men at the first, and filled the earth with their corrupted seed, were called Nephilim, and their offspring were giants. Now these giants were called the Anakim, a people great and strong. The land of Ammon was a land of giants, the Enim and the Zamzumim. The king of Bashan was a giant, and his bed was 18 feet long and 8 feet 4 inches wide. You can read that in Deuteronomy 3:11 and 13. Deuteronomy 9:1-5 says, Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven, a people great and tall, the children of the Anakim, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard say, Who can stand before the children of Enoch? Understand therefore this day that Yahweh thy God, Yahweh Elohecha, is he which goes over before thee as a consuming fire. He shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down by thy face. So shalt thou drive them out and destroy them quickly, as Yahweh has said unto thee. Speak not thou in thine heart after that Yahweh thy God, Yahweh Elohecha, hath cast them out from before thee, saying, For my righteousness Yahweh hath brought me in to possess this land. But for the wickedness of these nations Yahweh doth drive them out from before thee. Not for thy righteousness or for the uprightness of thine heart dost thou go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations Yahweh Elohecha doth drive them out from before you, that he may perform the word which Yahweh sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are going to close here today and we're going to have the next lecture next time. So I will just say shalom to you until next time. Mari Westley signing off. Thank you for joining me today on today's journey. I hope you will join me again next time. So shalom for today until I see you again.